whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get all up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get all up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get all up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up.
the groove, get on the floor.
What's up, family? Feel the groove, get on the floor. Got to get on up. Got to get on up. What's up to my family out there? Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Random Topic Sundays here on Gavin Reshaw Presents. We're going to go get into it real fast. But of course, I need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Also, even if you are subscribed to this channel, I need you also to hit the notification bell when we go live, because YouTube has us on a shadow ban. So whenever we go live, you want that notification bell, so that way you will not miss when the moment we go live with the channel. I see we got our regulars like Darius from Atlanta, Danielle Meyer. I'm sure we got a few other people that are going to be coming in, Kid Gravity and so forth. But thank you. Also, I need you to donate to the Cash App or PayPal. You know, our channel is not monetized, so whatever you can give, I would appreciate. We're going to go ahead and get started. But I want to say this first and foremost to let everybody know we had an excellent show, an excellent showing yesterday. I have been working like a racehorse, literally, because we had yesterday a pop-up shop in New Orleans East, and I put that description in the channel. I put that on here so everybody could check it out. But it went so well yesterday. We had to have sold probably about 4.5 boxes of Nawnies. So that's another thing. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some pictures from it. Nawnies goes great with every dish. So Nawnies is the bomb. Danielle was checking us out too. I had live streamed it, and like I suspected, the minute I live streamed it, because of the Christmas music in the back, YouTube was hitting me with copyright strikes. I got banned in Russia because of Winter Wonderland. And I'm like, what the hell does Winter Wonderland have to do with it? But um, here's a couple of pictures, videos we had here. Santa Claus was even getting in on the mix. And Santa Claus was enjoying it. Yeah, I was doing the 360 camera. I have some other stuff going on. Man. Yeah, man, this was a great event out in New Orleans. Let me. But we have videos out. Let me put up fair use, fair use. I don't want to get a copyright strike just because of the music. They'll throw that bullshit out. But yeah, this was great. How often do they do the expos? You know, I think this was the first one they did out in New Orleans East. Of course, you can set up to be a vendor, like when they have Essence Fest, Danielle. You can do vendorships and so forth. It's gonna cost money, but we had, and the good thing with us, we were actually cooking the food in front of everybody. From what you saw, if you watched the live stream that I was doing, I also had it on the Nawnies Creole brand IG, Nawnies Cree Blends. If you want to check out my IG for that and subscribe, go to @Nawnies Cree Blends and take a look. I have some pictures there. But Essence Fest does it now. You got to put up Monday if you want to be a vendor there, but it ultimately pays off. But we were cooking the food right there, the baked fish and shrimp, so right on the grill. So people were coming up, people that were hungry, the little kids were trying to get samples and stuff, and it was selling. They were buying bottles of it, so they enjoyed it, which is good. We had flyers for our website that people could go to order it. And that was the great thing. Everybody was supporting each other. We were checking out other people's companies, and when I had time to stop, I went over there. So I've made some business connections, but we're actually going to look at seeing, and I will check and see if I can get some sponsors to come on. But yeah, y'all need to check it out. So what's up, one who cares? But yeah, it was a great event. So I want to go ahead and talk about our first topic. I want to get into this. There's a lot I like to get into, but the arrest made in the murder of the rapper TakeOff. It was reported out in Houston. Houston police had made an arrest of two individuals by the one that goes by the name, sorry, I hate when this thing is up, Patrick Xavier Clark, who's 33, who was charged with murder, and Cameron Joshua, 22, who was charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. So what they're basically saying, for per what we've read and what we've seen in the article, I'm gonna play a clip from that, is that it seems that uh, this man, Patrick Clark, Xavier Clark, is actually a member, is actually a well-known promoter. He's a popular strip club promoter who is accused of TakeOff's murder. According to police, that when they made the announcement Friday, they said a lucrative dice game and an argument preceded the Migos rapper's murder as they announced Clark's arrest. Police Chief Troy Finner said, "We lost a good man. Hundreds of people I talked to spoke what a great individual he was," referring to Takeoff, who he described was an innocent bystander who was shot twice, including once in the head after an argument that stemmed from a, quote, lucrative dice game. Now, says here that Clark ran a strip club and had a large social media presence and was a well-known promoter in the Houston area. Rapper Jamali told the Daily Beast on Friday that he and many others were shocked by Clark's arrest, calling him a beloved promoter who ran the Flame HTX, a huge strip club that Clark posted about regularly on social media to his 20,000 followers, to 20,000 plus, I should say. They say known in Houston as knew Clark to be the violent type, theorizing that if the 33-year-old did have a gun on the night of Takeoff's murder, that whatever ensued must have been an accident. Jamali said, "You can see by the reactions of everyone that we're shocked because that's not the type of person Clark is. He was about business, not violence." Now, we're going to go ahead and play a clip of that arrest and police announcement right here.
Right, ready? Good. All right. Afternoon, everyone. Chief Fenner here with Mayor. Mayor, thank you for the support. We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to Takeoff's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of Takeoff's fans around the world. We lost a good man, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him. But everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam, who's worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday evening, in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. I'm sorry, of Houston. Again, Cameron Joshua, 22 years old, was arrested on November the 22nd for felon in possession of a weapon. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor right now, and after that, we're going to bring up the investigators and then the district attorney's office, and then Commander Garcia will translate for us in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And look, let me thank your entire team and all of your law enforcement partners that have been working on this case. Let me thank the prosecutors from the DA's office. I really appreciate their presence and their work. And I've certainly realized that the work even continues in this case. I do want to point out the fact that over the last month, I've had several conversations with the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens, kind of keeping him advised of this investigation and what was taking place, and talked with him as late as yesterday evening to apprise him of what would be taking place today. Look, it was about a month ago when we stood here as a team to discuss the shooting death of Kirshner Kyrie Ball. Public knew him as Takeoff. We all knew him as Takeoff, a talented entertainer and part of the Atlanta-based group, the Migos. I do also want to acknowledge Councilmember Edward Pollard, who is with us this afternoon. But in more than entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry. At that time, we also asked witnesses to help police identify Takeoff's killer and prevent more violence from happening in retaliation. I am glad that a suspect has been arrested and charged with Takeoff's death. It certainly, I think, will bring some comfort to the family, though it does not bring Takeoff back. This is a significant step towards seeking justice, and I hope it also brings additional comfort to all of those who love Takeoff. Over the past few weeks, Chief Fenn and I were asked often about the status of the investigation. The chief kept me informed about the information that had been received, the evidence that has been collected, including the videos, the video that was being reviewed. I want to express my regrets and disappointment that this was a case of a young man taking the life of another young man for no. To your command staff, to the investigators, to the DA's office, to all of their partners who helped.
Okay, I just paused it. That's just the mayor, Sylvester Toombs. Sylvester Turner. Let me say this. Essentially, this is the mayor of Houston. Sadly, a young man's life was taken, and someone very popular in the world of arts and entertainment. But as I stated before, when Takeoff had passed away, or let me rephrase that, when he was murdered back this past month, I had stated to everybody here on this channel that there are certain things that I used to do that I don't do no more. There are places I go that, let me rephrase it, that I used to go that I don't do anymore. And I get it. He's a very popular artist. He's a part of a very popular hip hop group. They hang out with each other. They do things with each other, and they want to have fun. I get it, but I can't be around them Negroes. I can't be around certain Negroes, certain stuff. I'm not blaming him for his death by no means. I don't want that to be interpreted as what I'm doing because it's not his fault. But there is something that has to be said about avoiding certain situations, avoiding dangerous circumstances. I can't do that. I can't go where I used to go when I was in college and high school, when I know that element is there, especially if I have children, if I have a lot to lose. And this young brother had a lot to lose. But even so, the person who killed him, alleged to have killed him, it seems when you look at his background, he even had a lot to even more to lose. And he did this over a freaking dice game. Now look at you. Again, he's innocent until proven guilty, but you have lost uh, your business. You own a strip club and you're a promoter. You about making money. You about business. You're not about violence, allegedly. And I'm saying it's alleged because it's not proven that he did this. But if this is true, you've lost everything now. You ain't got to. You gonna promote from prison? Yeah, I'm gonna promote my business from prison. No, that can't happen no more. The other person who's arrested for illegal carrying of a firearm, I don't know the circumstances as to whether he grabbed the gun from the man or not, or it seemed like there was, according to what they're saying, is that there was some type of altercation over this dice game, and Takeoff was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. But more information from the police. They say the defender said Friday that officers struggled to get information because witnesses fled the scene and were available to give statements. He said Clark was pinned down as the suspected killer after hordes of forensic evidence was collected and dozens of cell phone videos from the night. Says here that Offset, now this is interesting, Offset and Takeoff had who had broken away from Migos to perform solo, pauses shows as people worldwide mourn Takeoff. It says that the two had reportedly been at odds with each other when he left the group, but he later said he was in unbearable pain after the shooting. He wrote, "I wish I could hug you one last time, laugh one last time, smoke one last time, perform one last time, love you forever, for L and after." Earlier Friday, Offset played his first show since Takeoff's death, performing at Miami Club 11 as Art Basel kicked off. Others close to Clark say, now this is interesting, that he was being framed for the murder. "I know him. He's not like that. I honestly feel like they got the wrong guy," said one friend who knew Clark from the strip club. "He doesn't get mad or hostile. He's very nice and thoughtful. That's all I have to say. I feel he is being framed." And you know what? He could be framed. He could also be a case of the cops not doing their job. Because we have another thing we got to deal with where the no snitching policy. People don't like to snitch and tell. So did the police do their job? They're saying they added up the forensics. It could be proven that these men are very well innocent. We don't know. But this is a lesson that you do have to mind the company that you keep. You do have to mind the company that you keep, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're gonna move on, but rest in peace to Takeoff, to that young brother. I remember when I was 28, man. It's a long time, it seems. All right. So as I was looking at that video, I wanted to talk about this that happened earlier on yesterday. It was announced, ladies and gentlemen, that Coach Prime Time, Deion Sanders. I gotta get my Deion Sanders impression correctly. But Deion Sanders said deuces to Jackson State University, goes to Colorado. According to the reports, and it was confirmed on yesterday, that after the SWAC championship, where Jackson State University beat Southern University by a score of 43 to 24. Damn, that hurts. Primetime Deion Sanders, the NFL Hall of Famer, announced that after 2 years, he is leaving Jackson State to be the new coach of the University of Colorado. According to what I've been reading, Deion Sanders decided to leave Jackson State, especially after money had been dangled over him from Colorado. They were actually offering to pay him, I believe, much more than what he was being offered at Jackson State, if there was an offer from JSU, but it wasn't. But he actually changed, according to what we have seen here at Jackson State University. He actually changed the way that Jackson State was, because Jackson State the year previous had gone 1-11, and under Coach Prime had a record of 26-5 in his 2 seasons, including this year, which led him to have an undefeated season, winning the SWAC championship. And I believe now they're playing for the new championship out in Atlanta. We actually have some footage, let's see, of Deion Sanders speaking to Jackson State University students. We have that right here. Actually told the students to go to the float in Colorado.
Coach, welcome to my hangar. Good to have you in Colorado.
And I like for y'all to hear it from me and not from anyone else. It is what it is. Either in coaching, you get elevated or you get terminated. Ain't no other way. You either elevated or terminated. And it ain't no graveyard for coaches where they die at the place. It don't work like that. They either gonna run you off or you're gonna walk off upon your own recognizance. I've chosen to accept the job elsewhere next year. I'm going to finish what we started. We're going to dominate. I'm going to be here to that end and that conclusion. And then when that conclusion, we will move on. Now, what I don't want you to do is thinking something is better on the other side in regards to some of you. I would like to have the opportunity to meet with some of you so you don't go and jump in the portal and you die in the portal. I don't want that to happen because some of y'all thinking it's simplistic like that, and it's not. That portal will be loaded on, is it Monday, fella? Yeah. Monday. Portal's open, be loaded, and they're gonna call and they're gonna ask, because that's what we've done for some of y'all when we were trying to acquire y'all. We called and we asked your coaches, anyone we knew, what kind of character, what is it? And I don't want you thinking, since you have the Jackson State awards on you, that people are just gonna flock to you and they're gonna lace you like that. This is one of the best universities, I believe, certainly in FCS, that you could have an opportunity to play at because of all the bells and whistles and these particular things that we brought here. And I'm trying my best with this wonderful gentleman to help choose this next guy for you. My recommendation goes to TC. They know how I feel about TC. I want TC in several of the staff. That's mine. I would love for someone in. I don't really know how y'all would act with somebody outside the house coming in to really not understanding how we function and how we get down. So that's my recommendation. So just clap it up, TC. Hope that's how it goes down. But that's not his sole decision. So don't put it on him. He has a hierarchy that he must go through.
And Danielle asked the question. You said, did he say why he was leaving? Well, I think it can be summed up in Deion Sanders' primetime album, that hit song. It must be the money. He is getting a raise, ladies and gentlemen, of about, I believe, by joining the Colorado Buffaloes, according to reports from CBS. Uh, Sanders was offered more than $5 million annually, according to CBS News Colorado. The offer is said to include some salary increasing incentives, and though no specifics are available, those incentives supposedly could increase his salary of about 40%. The Colorado Buffaloes, now, the Colorado Buffaloes are one of the worst teams in football. They basically are the pushovers. According to the reports, I'm reading here, Buffalo had fired their coach, I believe, mid-season. So you have, of course, the college football team circling up. We hear about Georgia. We heard about Michigan, Ohio State, and TSU. That's the playoff set. And the Colorado Buffaloes, they've been off the radar for a long time. Uh, and what they did, the 26-5 record that Deion Sanders had, They hoped that Sanders could lead the team to a championship. Now, there are people, especially I was looking on my Facebook page, who obviously support Deion Sanders, critiquing and criticizing those who are in favor of Deion Sanders leaving, wondering why you're upset. You would leave for a raise. They didn't give you a raise, you would be out of there. So that's what Deion did. They are confirming that. And my whole thing with that, let me say this, a couple of things. Number one, Deion Sanders, I'll never forget when he came to Jackson State University. He actually showed up with a marching band. He rode his limo in the gym. And this was during the height in the auditorium, and this was during the height of COVID. And he has always been a guy who's extravagant. That Deion Sanders has always been like that. He's always been flamboyant. He's always been flashy. So a lot of people were, I want to say, frustrated, and a lot of people are upset that he's doing this. His son uh, also plays football for Jackson State, and he did it in 2 years. The problem, I think, with it, first off, it's not. Well, here's the thing: it's not illegal what he did. If he wants to go and make more money at another university, that's fine. If he thinks he can build and accomplish more in the other university, that's true. But I think what people are criticizing Coach Prime for is not the fact, or it's calling him a sellout. I wouldn't say he's a sellout, but I think it's more of the fact that black programs, especially for black people, we could never get. This is the argument I think with black people. We could never get anything going when we have something, when we have the right thing. We look at things now in hindsight. We look at, for instance, I look at the HBCUs. Let's talk about the football programs now. Now, I hate to say this, but HBCUs basically, especially when it comes to the football program, they are seen as wussies. Not that they are. They're seen as less than as compared to LSU and Georgia and Alabama and so forth. And excuse me. So I'm sorry, I had to respond to that. So yeah, black. So when it comes to football, that was not always the case. If you know the history, one of the reasons why segregation was here in the United States and black athletes had to play at separate institutions, go to separate schools, that was Jim Crow. The black football players played at Southern, at Grambling, and Miss Jackson State, and you had, of course, you had Texas Southern, which is, I believe, Michael Strahan's alumni from there. Remember, for Grambling, Grambling actually has more alumni that are in the Hall of Fame than any other school. Do you know that? Buck Buchanan. You got Willie Davis, Willie Brown, a bunch of black athletes that came out of the HBCUs that went into the NFL Hall of Fame. Now that's changed because now integration happens, and of course, ABC, CBS, they show the SEC network. They get more, they have alumni as well that support and make the decisions really for these predominantly white institutions. HBCUs, which is another problem, does not have the funding like many of these schools do. And I believe Jackson State's budget in terms of its athletic department was about $8 million. So they didn't have enough money really to give Prime Time any money to keep coaching there. But on the flip side, remember, Prime Time said he had a mission, was on a mission from God to change it. God told him to be there, but Satan changed his mind, I guess. But really, it's about money at the end of the day. Money motivates people. Money does anything. And then, Deion Sanders is like Donald Trump. It's like Don King. It's like a bunch of other people. Money is what makes the world go round. If we're being realistic, if you have money, it makes you do things. Our HBCUs are underfunded. Another problem that they deal with, and I saw this at Southern, there's corruption everywhere. Don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you from what I witnessed, there was stuff that was rampant. Of course, another problem is some of us, and maybe I'm included to that to a certain degree, are laxy-daisy, are lackadaisical, and lazy when it comes to taking care of our communities and forcing these people out. This is Coach Prime being introduced to Colorado. So he wins the SWAC championship and then jets for Colorado. So he did leave a blueprint for HBCUs, especially with recruiting, and show them it's possible. But had he stayed longer, could it have attracted even more interest to our HBCUs? Because he has attracted it, but him staying longer, he really could have, or could have inspired more people to go, more former athletes to go to these schools, to go to a to a Southern University, to a Texas Southern, or to a Florida A&M, wherever, and build those institutions up and attract recruitment, because that's the biggest problem with the HBCUs is the recruitment. Now, he actually got, remember, a 5-star recruitment for Jackson State. A number 1 recruit, Travis Hunter, came to Jackson State because of Deion Sanders. Now, the question is, are those athletes going to stay? Are they going to follow coach? Will they seek a transfer? And yes, to a degree, I see both sides. And I just want to tell you the impact that Deion Sanders did. He did a great thing. Jackson State in 2021, if you read this, this is an article out of USA Today. His star power is paying off in a big way for Jackson State University. The school's athletic department generated the equivalency of $185 million in advertising and exposure. That's not to mention also they're rebuilding, or are building, a new stadium for Jackson State. On Friday, Tate Reeves, this is old, but says Tate Reeves and InterSign Mississippi Senate Bill 2313 which allows college athletes to receive compensation for use of their name, images, and likeness. And the law goes into effect on July 1st. Mississippi became the ninth state to pass this type of measure following Florida and New Mexico. So this was in 2021. Now, what's interesting and why I want to talk about this was there was an article that I read while I was out, and I wanted to share with you. And I'm going to move on to the next topic in a little bit. But it stated that someone wrote an interesting article where they said Deion Sanders' pimping of Jackson State and HBO culture is fire. HBCU, I said HBO. Yeah, it's not TV, it's HBO. HBCU culture is finally over. This was by Karen J. Phillips. So it's time to admit Coach Prime was always in it for himself. Zene J says Deion sold out for the highest bidder. So he says that he starts it off by saying, what started with a lavish indoor pep rally during the height of the pandemic, that's true, there was a pep rally, putting the health of students and school employees at risk, ended with a cowardice move to dodge reporters as the head coach of a 12-0 football team that just won its second straight SWAC championship was able to sidestep his media obligations after a season in which he had always had one foot out the door. Deion Sanders is done with HBCUs as Coach Prime has chosen to leave an undefeated black school for a major payday at a predominantly white institution that has a football team that just went 1-11. Now, I will say this. I was thinking Deion would have held out to go to Florida State University. That was my thinking. I wouldn't, but damn Colorado. But they offered him, I guess, much more. And here's the problem, though: did Jackson State a counter offer? Were they able to offer him the same thing? Because while this is for culture, and I know we get that, this is also a business. This is about money too. And I know some of you all, deep down, if you had the money to go somewhere, let's say if you live in Compton and you had money to offer a job offer that paid you six figures to move out to Beverly Hills. Even if you had your own company, you had your own business that you were doing in Compton, but you're making much more than what you did, would you move there? I think some of you would. Colorado is not good. I agree. I think the last time Colorado was even good was, I thought Cordell Stewart played for him. Wasn't Cordell from? Yeah, he played for Colorado. Yeah. So it's interesting. 50 million was their offer. Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of money to turn down. But as I read the article, and it's interesting, he said the guy gives some interesting points. I can't say I agree with everything this guy says, but he's going at Coach Prime. But he says in the following, he says, if the game is ever going to change for HBCU athletics, then it will happen by doing it the right way, which includes investing resources and giving exposure to these schools and their athletic programs so that they have all the tools necessary to recruit and retain 3, 4, and 5-star athletes. That's how you build and sustain programs that have proven they can recruit top tier talent and send kids to the pros. That's the blueprint, not quick fixes or flash in the pan hires like Sanders, who are just bidding their time until they can leave like a thief in the night. But the one incident that will always define Sanders' legacy at the most at JSU is when the man who always claimed he cared about black people banned a black reporter, the JSU beat writer for the Clarion Ledger in Jackson, Mississippi, from covering his team. The ban was allegedly lifted after discussions with others in the university's administration. It never felt as if the air were really cleared, though, Marlon A. Walker told Deadspin. Walker was the executive editor at the newspaper during the time of the incident. Now, Sanders banned a reporter because he knew he was going to be asked some tough questions at the 2021 SWAC Media Day due to a report that came out earlier in the week detailing how one of his most coveted recruits was charged with assaulting a woman. Well, even after we changed reporters, it was difficult. Deion Sanders made it hard for all local news reporters to cover the football team, mostly because he preferred national press, which was no secret. Or maybe you asked an inappropriate question he didn't feel like addressing. That could be another thing too. I'm not going to address something that one of my students or recruits are charged with assaulting a woman, and you want to ask me that over and over again. So I can see why how was the question asked? I'm not going to necessarily fault him for that. In 3 seasons at JSU, Sanders compiled a 26-5 record and brought attention to the program that hadn't been seen since the days of Walter Payton. His resume and coaching skills speak for themselves, but at what cost? Was the winning worth it? This is a much interesting article. Remember what, so I won't go through all of it. You can read it, but there are people who are obviously not happy with the way that things went down. And I'm looking here, look at what the Vicksburg Post, the titles of this, guys. Y'all remember when this happened? What do I think will happen for next JSU next year? I don't think they're going to have the same impact that they had this year. In the last 2 years, I don't see that happening. I think he's going to bring, if the same team stays in place and recruits, they probably will have a chance. I don't know if they'll go undefeated, but they'll do good. I don't see them, however, no offers from any HBCUs. I don't believe, but damn, Colorado is not Florida State. I can tell you that. It's not a Power 5 school. Absolutely not. But y'all look at this. Deion Sanders shows Jackson State a noble but false promise because he ain't SWAC. He ain't SWAC now. Colorado hires Deion Sanders away from Jackson State. Y'all remember this?
I thought it was a lot of disrespect the whole week. And so you're not going to be disrespectful the whole week in the media. We didn't talk in the pregame. I was out there the whole time at the 50-yard line. He walked through our whole our whole huddle on our end zone and came the long way around and get to his side of the field in the pregame. Thought that wasn't classy at all. So you want to do that, don't come with me and try to bro hug me like we're friends. We ain't friends. You didn't shake my hand before the game. Why you shaking my hand after the game? You're not going to come here and disrespect me and my team and my school and then want to bro hug me. Shake my hand and get the hell on. Period. You got the W. Great job. I hope he comes back next year. I pray he don't get a Power 5 job so we can play them next year in Jackson. And I pray they put us for their damn home.
Well, unfortunately, he's not coming back. But hey, look on the bright side. He didn't get a Power 5 job. Eddie Robinson. You got a half a wish come true. I gotta do my Coach Primetime voice, y'all. Cause y'all Deion Sanders, I'm Primetime. I gotta get the voice down a little bit. Because a big game, man. Primetime Sanders Club is coming to town. Of course, Eddie Robinson is salty. No relation to Coach Rob from Grambling. Yeah, but Eddie Robinson was salty about that. His team got their ass whipped. and he was upset. But do y'all think I'm gonna put this poll in? And I want to ask you all flat out: do y'all think Coach Prime is a sellout? I'm putting it in the chat on my G Boot 2786 channel. Do y'all think Coach is a sellout for doing this? Do you think he was right? Do y'all think it's a business decision? So I want to hear what your thoughts are. I don't know if y'all think he's a sellout. Do you think he just did a business decision? I think it's business at the end of the day, but I think I can understand the argument that black folks can never get anything because yes, you bring attention to an HBCU, you attract people, and yes, it's gonna bring more exposure to us when we have someone as a celebrity like Deion Sanders. I mean, look at Eddie George came back and coached. I believe uh, he's the coach up in tennis, is it Tennessee State? Where's Eddie George coach? Tennessee State, right. Now he came out in 2021. A lot of people think was an effect from Coach uh, Prime Time coming in, but actually he has not done great at Tennessee State at all. His record is 9-12. So Eddie George might be on his way out. I don't know, but yeah, I know Eddie Robinson's upset. He's not going to get to see Coach. Yeah, of course. I think Deion is an entertainer. Yeah, he's always been. Coach Prime says it's got to be the money. Yeah. So I got 10 votes. 70% say no. 30% say yes. One who cares. Diane is a prima. Diane is a prima donna. Well, he did say he cared about HBCUs, Darius, and black people, but Prime cares about his checkbook. That's the main thing, y'all. It's the money. It must be the money, y'all. It gotta be about the money. Coach Prime got to get that money. I ain't making that Golden Corral money anymore. Shit. And some of y'all, if you had if you had a divorce and gotta pay alimony and back child support, shit, you gonna get what you can. But yeah, Dion was looking at the Colorado. They opened up the door for him. I mean, I remember when the Saints were trying to get him, they were courting him because he was a free agent from Atlanta. He ended up going to Frisco. All right, I can't play too much. But hey, it must be the money. The MC Hammer look. I wonder if Coach Prime will put he gonna put a copyright strike on me because it must be the money. Oh, come on, one who cares? I know you meant to say Diane. Don't be foolish. Y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button, y'all. We're gonna get out of here in a minute. I got two things I want to run through this last topic. First and foremost, I do want to say rest in peace to two individuals. I didn't get a chance to talk about them, but Irene Cara and Clarence Gilliard Jr., uh, both who were in their 60s, fairly young, but Irene Cara, who was the best known for songs like What a Feeling, and from the song Fame, from the movie Fame, I believe was she on the TV show as well. she did Roots. I know that for a fact. She played Alex Haley's mother at a young age in Roots: The Next Generation. She was in Sparkle, but she was very talented, very popular individual, starting from a young age, and she was only 63. It looks like. So I'm looking here, and this is some information I have about her. Y'all can check her out. But I thought she was she was a little fame was before my time. Now I'm an '80s baby. I was born in '86, but our fame came out like in 1980, and then Flashdance when she did "What a Feeling," which won an Oscar for Best Original Song. Uh, she was accredited as a songwriter on it because she wrote the lyrics or co-wrote the lyrics with the composer Giorgio Moroder and Keith Forsyth. So she became an Oscar winner at that point. And it said here that she had got into it with her record company because she was not receiving royalties that were stipulated in her recording contract. She took legal action against her label in order to be compensated. And the backlash that she claimed she suffered in retaliation for filing a lawsuit left her feeling shut out of the entertainment industry because I think after that, you really didn't see her in much subsequently. But that does happen, sadly, to a lot of artists when they want to get their royalties from their songs, from things that they had written, things that they had done. And she obviously didn't get money from it. And she wrote some other songs as well. Why Me, which was on I believe this was also on the soundtrack. All of this in the 80s. So rest in power to her. She's a beautiful sister. The other person I want to talk about is this man, Clarence Gilliard Jr., who, of course, he's older now. He was in his 60s, but Clarence Gilliard was a star of was a star of TV shows like Walker of Texas Ranger. He played the side chick, I said side chick. Man, I'm mispronouncing stuff like Charles Barkley, y'all. Personally, I guess I must be coming Charles Barkley because I like to screw up all of these titles or all of these fancy shows because, everything else would be uncivilized, like when I did the right guard commercials in the 80s and 90s. But Clarence Gilliard was the second of 6 children. He was actually from New Orleans. His family is from New Orleans, but he grew up on an Air Force bases throughout the country and was raised primarily, according to Wikipedia, as a Lutheran, where he became Catholic. His birthday actually was Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1955, and he was a professor out at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, where he taught stage and screen acting. Now, it doesn't say exactly what he died from, except they say a long illness. No one states what that illness is. But I knew him also, if you saw in the 80s, he guest starred on many shows such as Different Strokes, The Facts of Life, 227, Simon and Simon. But he was also in The Karate Kid as a military man in a famous scene where Daniel and Chosen actually break the ice. So Clarence Gilliard, where I knew him as well, one of the movies he did was Die Hard, where he played Theo, who was the computer whiz terrorist in the film, and he also played Conrad McMasters before, or as the private investigator for Ben Matlock. So on the show Matlock. So that's where I knew him from. My mom was my grandmother was a big Walker Texas Ranger fan. God bless grandma. But God bless, he was on Matlock too. But God bless both of them. I'm so sorry. They don't say what the cause of death I don't think they ever said what the cause of death was for any of them was, unfortunately. Yeah, I remember that with Deion when that reporter didn't acknowledge him. But I gotta say, rest in power to these two. Now the final topic, Clarence Gilliard, Irene Cara, gone too soon. But may their souls rest in peace, rest in power. Now, I gotta talk about this. He was on the final season of Chips. Okay, yeah. Good Moaning America. Me and Mr. Holmes. I'm talking about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. Now, me and Mr. Holmes. This is what Amy is singing. We got a thing going on. Did it, but did it, but did it, but did it, but did it. Wait, let me say like Billy Paul. We don't know that it's wrong. Someone play the sax. But it's much too strong to let it go now. We eat every day, 5:30 on ABC. Bill, and she's got her own obligations. And so have I. I want to get to them thighs, you see. Me and Mr. Holmes, Mr. Holmes. do, 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 do. We got to be extra careful. It hurts so much, it hurts. He said he grabbed a what? What stuff? Based off the pictures I've seen, they are lovey. It seems like they're lovey-dovey. Now, Amy Robach is 49, and TJ Holmes is 45. And they're both married. Holmes is married to Marley Feiberg, who is a lawyer. He's screwed. Y'all know that off the bat. She getting everything. And Amy Robach is married to, I think it was Beverly Hills 90210's actor. I just said his name here. Where did it go? Andrew Shue, who's an actor. Now, they caught them all cozied up, and I think they're separated. Well, of course, they were on corresponding in England for the Queen's, I believe, her funeral, and even before that, they were there. But they say he's grabbing a handful of ass. As a defense lawyer, I have to say that I would have to object to this because there's no ass in this photograph. Where do you see an ass? He's like, pow! He tried to grab a full of it so he could feel it. He can't look. It's he cuffed it, but it went back because it was like slapping that desk. He's like, pow! Just like the desk at ABC. Amy, come on, baby. We got to be extra careful. It hurts so much. It hurts so much. He tried to. He tried to get his ghost from power on. He ended up being Spook. They're gonna he's about to be the Ime Udoka of ABC. They're gonna put this nigga on suspension for a whole year. Take your black ass out of here. You ain't doing Good Morning America no more. For a whole year. You're not even gonna work on Today with Hoda Kotb. It says to reports, everyone knows that Amy and TJ have been close friends for a long time now, running together and even socializing as a foursome with each other's spouses. Photographs posted on 49-year-old Robach's Instagram as recently as March show Holmes, 45, with his arm casually draped on her husband, Andrew Shue's shoulder, with both men apparently firmly apart of Robach's half-marathon posse. Now, it's been reported that Holmes, he's been cheating on his wife, who's on the left, before with, it's alleged, I don't know how true it is, with the producer of Good Morning America. Allegedly, I gotta be careful. We don't know. All this is alleged, but the pictures are, I could say, are damning. Entertainment Tonight says that TJ Holmes is making news for another romance just days after news of his relationship with Amy Robach broke. It's learned that this producer worked with Robach at the time. They were actually friends. She was friends with Robach. The producer left GMA in late 2017. Now, none of this has been verified, but they actually went back.
Tried out to be a host on ET. A few years into married life with Rock Nation attorney Marilee Fiebig.
Yeah, she's
and during his audition,
TJ's lawyer. Shit.
He said everyone's better off by tying the knot.
Marriage gets a bad rap a lot of times because I'm such a marriage proponent. I want everybody to get married. I think everybody should, and I think you're better off in doing so.
Fast forward to 2022, he might still hold this to be true, but maybe with some asterisks.
Keeping the romance alive in any relationship, well, maybe it's the challenge these days.
Just a little bit sometimes.
In the wake of TJ and Amy's romance coming to light, ET learned he and Marilee had already gone their separate ways, though we don't have a timeline. The two tied the knot in 2010 and share a daughter.
Hey, we talked about this. You weren't supposed to say that.
TJ's also dad to two kids from a previous relationship. And just hours after the Daily Mail broke the story of Amy and TJ's relationship, a past anniversary post from TJ to his ex went viral.
We will spare you, America. All right.
Back in March 2020, TJ took part in the 10-year challenge, where Facebook users post two snaps, one from a decade ago and one present day, alongside a caption reflecting on life then and now. TJ used the opportunity to gush over his wife, writing, "Despite my best efforts, she remained married to me the past 10 years. TJ added that he gave her plenty of reasons, excuses, and opportunities to leave him, but instead she showed a grace and patience that's incomprehensible.
It's true. It's like your marriage is like a plant. You have to water it every day.
Is this a marriage segment or a landscaping segment?
And another viral moment, Amy and TJ perhaps doing a bit of flirting in this TikTok.
Here's my half-marathon tip. Ask her for tips.
Stop. We're never going to get through this.
I thought we were done.
The source tells ET the pair bonded over their love of running.
Another tip is to train with friends. You set the agenda. You say, here's when we're meeting.
When she said
I
friends.
did.
So
and at least you feel the excitement of doing it with someone. You don't feel alone.
Now, I got to point this out because New York Post ain't shit. This is what the New York Post had. There's a reason why I titled this that. They had it as, this was the, oh, come on, I just did. Good Moaning America. Good morning, America. Darius said, never trust a black man with a haircut like that. Gives new adage to the news saying hardwire. he had a handful of plank. What ass he's grabbing? He wanted to fill that desk like Good Morning America. That's the desk they were on. But this is a damn shame. Good Morning America. The New York Post ain't shit, but that was funny. I gotta get man. I'm gonna tell you in all seriousness, though, unsure married. Think about it, because this can see you and your partner a lifetime of pain. Divorce, especially if there's infidelity involved. Don't do it. He was grabbing her sacrophiliac, her ass bone. TJ Holmes here. And look, a lot of that stuff, believe it or not, behind the scenes goes on, but I'm hearing they're going to suspend him. They're going to take him off the. It's a matter of time. And guess what? Oh, I got somebody, my mom in the back. It was reported. So the tabloids went out and got those pictures. The Daily Mail got those. It looks like, and my understanding about old girl too, Amy Robach, is that she was messing around with the husband that she separated with. She was messing around with him when he was married to somebody else. That's how I believe that's how her first marriage ended. Because they've been separated since August of 2022 with her husband. But the man, Andrew Shue, who's an actor, he was, according to what I've heard, of course, this hasn't been confirmed, but he was actually having an affair with this woman. Per what I've been reading. Now, I want to make a correction. He was not on Beverly Hills 90210. He was on Melrose Place. Pretty White Kid Show. That's what I should have just called it. Then everybody would have got it. But I think, and here's the thing. When you're especially if you're a person that, if you've got in a relationship with a woman that cheats, or that person cheats, then obviously they're not good for you. She's going to likely do it. More than likely, it's going to happen again in that relationship. That's not built on a level of trust. Kid Gravity, just email me. Just email me about that if you want me to come on the show. Of course, if it was done. Someone says she's a serial cheater. Yeah. And it looks like he has a problem cheating too. And he grabbed him a handful of spine. Yeah, and they both were Moaning America picture. That was current even after the event started. And I believe they had even shut down their Instagram accounts when that stuff was starting, when the rumors were starting. So don't be surprised if TJ is going to be suspended and Amy is going to get to host GMA, because this is what they do to black men, like they did with Stephen A. Smith when he was on First Take and he made those comments about Ray Rice. They didn't get rid of Michelle Beadle or suspend her for going against company policy. They suspended him for offending a group of people for speaking a truth. I understood what he was saying. But yeah, man, it's a recipe for disaster. Now, yes, people who work together. Now, you got to realize most romances do occur when people work together, because you're around that person all the time. You interact with that person all the time, probably more than the spouse that you have at home. So sometimes those things happen, but there is a level of self-control that you, I guess, if you're married, you're supposed to have, and this is for male and female. Things you should avoid. You know, he could be like Homer. He should be like Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson turned down 2 women for Marge. But what you so I can't wait to see what happens with it. Uh, but y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Uh, we thank y'all for coming in, tuning in. The year's not over with yet, y'all. Of course, I got to tell y'all, we got a show coming up Friday. This Saturday coming, ladies and gentlemen, we got a comedy show. Of course, the Laughs Before Christmas. Uh, y'all need to check that out. Why is this? If you're in the local area, DeAndre, you need to buy some tickets, man. I didn't see you at the show last time, but the Laughs Before Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, we got Chew Boo, Nature Boy. We have Terry Scott, my man, Karen Hargrove, and most importantly, our headliner is none other than Mr. Kerry B. So y'all please go hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Go to Eventbrite, I should say, and go and purchase your tickets if you have not done so to the Laughs Before Christmas. It's only $15. Get them now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a good time. Come on out. As you can see, my man, Terry Scott, Karen Hargrove, Nature Boy. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be great. The other thing I want to tell everybody else, thank you all for those that did come. If you are watching here on the live stream that came out to support us at the pop-up shop again, I want to thank y'all again. I think they will likely protect her. Subscribe for exclusive content on Patreon channel GBoo2786. And please support this channel. As you know, it's not monetized. If you enjoyed what you heard, I need you to please donate to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle to keep me going. hit that notification bell as well, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that notification bell so when we go live, you're connected automatically. You know, YouTube has us on a shadow ban, so it's great if you do that. Yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up. Of course, you gotta buy some Nani's Creole blends. Nani'sCreoleBlends.com. Trying on chicken, meat on fish. Nani's goes great with every dish. We will have. I think I'll do some call-ins on Tuesday. Tuesday we'll do a call-in show. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we started off with Get On Up. Now we're going to end with Get On Up. But you all be safe and be blessed. We will be back for the next one. Yeah, this is going to be interesting what happens with TJ Holmes. I'm pretty sure they're going to make an example out of him. But I'm going to go back. Oh, let me check my... So 71% of you say you don't believe Deion is a sellout. 29% say yes. Okay. So majority says he's not a sellout. I think Deion is just the entertainer. He goes where the money is. I feel sorry for his players who might have been hurt because, you know, he had a connection with them. And that might be the ones impacted the most by it. But Deion has always been about his money. But let's go ahead, guys. We're going to wrap this up. I got new music coming out, too. We're working on something for Christmas. So y'all stay tuned for that. But till the meantime, please get on up on Apple, iTunes, and Amazon. We're available, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out. Love y'all. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body move. Gotta get on up and
feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whisper. Rock steady in the mood. Put on tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. I'm feeling so start dealing. Broken and the river takes you. There's only one thing left to do. It's really moving. Time to get your. Gotta move body. Cause when the beat is real. Yeah. That's a pen. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all again because black people, y'all don't work in the world. Charbon is just gonna say, y'all don't work. Y'all know as well as I do. These Subway. Me and Mr. Holmes. I know you did it. Yeah. We got to be extra careful, DJ. You eat at the same time, at the same cafe. No.